Hello, hello, RSC. We are back at it again for another exciting matchup of RSC finals action. On the desk, you've got your boy Bas Radla and Mr. Yapping Panda himself. Panda, how are you doing tonight?
Oh my goodness, I am so excited. I feel like it's been forever since I've been on the desk. Took a little break, had to help out on the producing side, but now finally back to yapping. And what better time to yap than RSC finals?
Oh my god, and we have an incredible lineup tonight. We've got our Chally final at 9:30, Decuriones versus Ryujin, and then their 10:30 matchup. Insane final as well. Elite. You got the Cotia Cartel and Desolation. All four of these teams are must-watch action for sure. But before we get too far into the glazing of these two teams and talking about this season, I do want to give a big shout out to Doughboy, who is producing tonight and has been rocking it all season. So big shout out there, but let's go ahead and talk a little bit about your 9:30 matchup, the teams we're just about to see. And yeah, Panda, this is incredible. Both number one seeds falling in the semifinals, leaving us with the fifth seed from Solar and the third seed from Lunar.
Honestly, Chally and same thing in in Ami and Prospect. You never know what's going to happen. Any team can make it all the way to the top, and it's definitely shown here. I mean, Chally has been up and down the whole season long. I know I've been keeping an eye on my personal Chally team. They didn't make it, but I'm excited to see that what these players can do. Their seeds are definitely not worth what their skill level is at. These guys are playing out of their mind to get to this point in the season.
Well, and the wildest thing too, right? Like when we talk about these two teams, we get into their team stats. Their scoreboard doesn't really reflect how the back half of the season really filled out. These two teams are technically 10-10 in their last 5 match days, which is actually some of the worst for the top 10. But they got hot at the perfect time. These players finding the right chemistry on the pitch, looking for their teammates, and really just facilitating great Rocket League action. 99 assists for the Decuriones, 95 for Ryujin.
Honestly, and that's what I'm most excited for is these assist stats. We love to see these solo plays, these diving heroic saves from each individual player. But what really gets me going on some Rocket League action is to see some nice passing plays, some good synergy between teammates. That's where the most exciting Rocket League comes from, and that's what I'm so excited for this Chally matchup.
100%. If you're good with it, we'll go ahead. We'll roll right into player stats. Let's talk a little bit about the players to watch tonight, your X factors on the pitch for this final. So, I'll go ahead, and if you don't mind, I'll take Ryujin. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about my boy Dondo RF, 54 games, 49 goals. Absolutely putting down offense for his team. Chef Hoffy with 43 there to support that lead. But this is a 3-way monster. All three can easily really carve up that defense and place well-maintained shots.
I mean, I do know Dondo very well. A lot of these players in this Challenge Tier final, a lot of players are going to know. They're well known in all of RSC, and I'm excited to see them here playing. Yeah, Dondo, 146 shots. Chef Hoffy, 158. That's a lot of shots. That's some dangerous shooting, especially considering that they're shooting 27 and 33% from those shots. I'm excited to see what they can kind of cook up here going into the finals. But on the other side, they may have the more overall shots, but more spread out evenly is going to be Decuriones with Dr. Professor Primed and Turbo Palka. All three of those players having triple-digit shooting.
Which is insane, right? The amount of midfield control you have to generate that much offensive pressure to translate to the stat sheet is incredible. So we'll definitely be watching that team to see how they rotate and what they're doing that's translating so well on the pitch. But another thing I want to call out, Turbo Alpaca, 60 demos on the season. Insane. That's going to be an incredible X Factor moment watching this player potentially clear up the back line, remove a goalie or another defender, and just open up some offensive opportunities.
I mean, my X factor for Decurions is going to be Dr. Professor. Most shots, most saves, second most demos. he is everywhere on this field. So I'm definitely going to be looking out for him, see how he facilitates his teammates and turns these finals on its head. I definitely am going to be rooting for him. Definitely going to be putting my points on that team for sure. I love me some Gamba moments for finals, especially. But as I believe we do have all the players on the pitch now, so I'm tired of yapping about player stats because I just want to see Cars go ball. Are you ready?
One quick shout out right before we get the action on the field going. This is GM versus GM action. Both franchises represented well by their GMs and their teams. But we'll be getting a kickoff here. Looks like it's going to be Avex Inceptions in Balto Storm kicking off your Chally finals here. Chef Hoffy already up to apply pressure. Turbo just trying to shove it all the way down the pitch and keep this out of his half. Try to extend some offensive chances. Chef coming up the sidewall here, splits the 50, gets it through Dr. Professor. Turbo, though, wants to play a little bit cautious. Not a great opportunity as Dondo quickly dives into the action. And with 30 seconds in, Panda, it's exactly what we would expect from two great teams. Really feeling out the pitch to see how things are playing.
That's a great shot from Dr. Professor, just beating out every player on Ryujin on that high ball up. And then there he is again, doing the 50 on the defensive end. Both of these teams, as you expect from every good close finals matchup, are just playing each other out. Dondo, what a shot to open up the finals! Off the 50 from Dr. Professor, the clear, and just over his head, Turbo Falcon can't reach it, and Dondo opens up the scoring for Ryujin.
Insane placement on that shot. Chef Hoffy, Turbo Falcon getting the gameplay back in action. Dondo has control, flips underneath it. Avex dives into the pitch. Chef's got a lot of boost, a lot of opportunities here as he elevates off the sidewall, looking for a second touch, gets it, looking for the third off the backboard, but Balto is not going to let it happen. He knows how dangerous Chef is going to be in that back third. Turbo can't get it over Chef. Chef keeps this alive. This rotation from the Ryujin side is unbreakable.
But here we go. Turbo getting that first demo now, relieving the pressure off of Decurion's side. It's off the backboard. It's a dangerous shot. Ballstorm off the post. Who's going to be there for the second chance ever? Turbo tries to get the pass over, but Dondo is able to find the clear. Decurion's would have loved to get the answer right away to tie this game back up, but here they are back on the defensive end, and Ryujin make it out of that dangerous offensive play. Now wanting to extend this lead over, Dr. Professor tries to find the clear. Avex finds the 50 to stop him, and Turbo with low boost now has to try and convert this defense into offense. Is unable to, as Ryujin now are trying to start this stranglehold on the Decurion's defense.
Dondo off the sidewall looking for a pass center. Chef kind of backed off there for a second. Might have been able to beat Dr. Professor to it, but played a little bit safe. Avex gets the push. It's going to go into the corner, roll up off the back wall here. Dr. Professor takes it. Not a lot of boost to keep the play alive. Pops it center for Balto. Dondo, though, quick as ever, dives in to swap that away. Turbo elevates. Not a lot of boost to follow once again. Avex gets installed center. Dondo regains, gets it centered. Avex gets the bump on Balto. Can Balto regain? And is able to. The demo! The shot! It's goal number 2!
Dondo just clears the way for Chef Hoffy. That's the most open net you're going to see all night long as Dondo just gets him out of the net. Dr. Professor just thought he could just rotate back nice and clean and normally, but is not fast enough to get to that shot. And that's 2-0 up for Ryujin in this first game.
Dr. Professor gets the putt touch off the backboard, looking to potentially try to start equalizing this matchup here. Turbo Alpaca able to push it across. Balto sits back a little further, pops it into the corner here. Unfavorable bounce as that bounces pretty high. Turbo, though, really quick to elevate, and Dr. Professor putting it on target, but that is going to be cleared away fairly easily by Avex Inceptions. Decuriones really starting to get their team chemistry going here.
Oh, definitely. Now with this 2-goal comfortable lead here with 2 minutes left, all they really have to do is just prevent Decuriones from starting any type of offensive plays, try to stop any momentum that they might want to start. As Chef Hoffy now, dangerous catch in front of the net, and finds his second goal here to put the Ryujin up 3-0 in this first game. That's not the touch that Alpaca was looking for, and Chef Hoppy takes advantage.
Dr. Professor and this Decuriones team have a minute 38 to really start establishing themselves for a chance to come back, but danger has to be averted rather quickly. Avix Inception's really strong pinch through the defense here as Dondo elevates to put it high off the backboard. Chef shoves it through Balto. Turbo, not a lot of boost, tries to jump up and swap that away. Dr. Professor has to get a touch here and does. With a minute 15 left to be played, Panda, this is a dangerous spot for Decuriones. You really don't want to fall one game down early on.
Oh, definitely not, but it looks like for Decuriones, they had a bunch of offense here in the first minute and a half, but now getting into the second half of the game, their offense has been stopped completely as now Dondo is able to find the clear. Only as far as Turbo Alpaca, who tries to send it the other way. Can Dr. Professor beat Chef? No, he is unable to find the ball, but Avex is there to collect it in the corner. These first 4 shots from Decuriones were all in the first half of the game. No more shots in the second half, and Dondo's trying to make this lead 4-0. He's saved by Turbo Alpaca, and Dr. Professor has to find the second save, but they are still stuck in their side of the field.
Dondo high off the corner here. Ooh, good dive by Avex Inceptions to keep this play shut down. Chef Hoffy elevates, not a lot of boost to follow, goes down for the 100, quickly goes back up, splits the 50. That's going to be high and in a dangerous spot, so Turbo has to quickly elevate. Instead, Dr. Professor, awkward spot here, passes it over. Chef's in the waiting. Chef's gets the pop towards the back. Turbo with the dive and is able to keep this game 3-0. First game goes towards the Ryujin.
And a handed game. Sorry, Ryujin take this game handedly. 3-0 is a great start to this finals matchup. Shout out Smitty for 5 gifted subs. That's my GOAT over there for this finals matchup. And honestly, all thanks to Chef. That was a wonderful catch off the back post shot from Doctor, I believe it was. And then once again, finding that second goal. Chef really was cooking. And Tech 4, as he was saying, his prediction here, SGA, PGA, USA, Ryujin in 5.
Well, and it's tough, right? Because like when you talk about Chally, a lot of players, you can really differentiate who's going to be a title contender and who's not, depending on how well they control the ball. They're not just shoving it towards the goalpost. They're not just looking for a power shot. The way Chef Hoffy literally caught it, decided to quickly rotate, identifying that the goaltender was in an awkward spot, is incredible play, and is somebody you can easily tell is going to be in Rival next season for sure.
Oh, definitely. I mean,
oh boy, players... what? Is that Schmitty? Throwing more?
That's 10. That's 15 altogether. One of those subs going to Dondo, who's in game right now. So I'm sure he definitely appreciates it. Is that a good luck charm for Dondo to get the 10 gifted subs? I guess we're going to see as we get into this second game for the Chally Finals. Ryujin up with that first game, and Avex is trying to find his double tap. Will he find it? No. Stopped by Dr. Professor, who sends it safely to the corner. Chef Hoffy trying to maintain that pressure. Turbo Alpaca couldn't find it, and Dondo, just like in Game 1 and Game 2, finds the opening goal.
Brother, what is this team play? Chef Hoffy getting an incredible bounce off that lip, just enough elevation to get it over Turbo, who's sitting with not a lot of boost on the back post, and Dondo quickly dives in to clear away the opening goal. My man, this is a team hell-bent on taking the chip right here, right now. Dr. Professor popping it high center. Dondo can't elevate. Not a return of fortunes for Decuriones, though. Balto is going to keep this alive, looking for a pass center. Can't get it past Avix Inception, so instead, Dr. Professor elevates. Turbo gets it through 1. Nobody there to follow, not establishing number 2. Dangerous spot. You want to see Decuriones really quickly dive back in and get the equalizer. We'll see, though, because they're really starting to get good pressure into the back third.
Oh, definitely. I definitely need to see Decuriones score here, as they do, just like I said. There's their opening goal to tie the second game up off of a mistouch from Dondo, who's doing so well offensively, but just a little ahead of the game, just missed the ball just ever so slightly there on the backboard, and the Decuriones find that punishing goal to tie this game right back up. But still, plenty of game time left, 4 minutes left, and Chef looking to find the double tap, unable to find it, so close, and Turbo is trying to run it down the other way, almost finds Dondo in his sights for the demo, but does find the pass out mid. No, he doesn't. Balta now on defense, 1v1 against Chef, and does find the save. Here we go. Decuriones now finally able to get off of their back foot and start to create some offensive pressure.
First off, is Smitty made of money? He donates another, looks like 5 gifted tier 1 subs. My man is just making it rain on this Chelly finals right now. Apex elevates, can't quite get it on target. Chef there keeping it alive, bounce off the backboard. Not favorable enough. This Turbo is able to get that cleared away. Dondo pushes it through one, drops it down center. Avex not quite able to get there. Lucky spot for Decuriones as this Ryujin team was unable to put away, quite frankly, one of the best opportunities they've had this game.
Honestly, this is where I expected game 1 kind of to look like a lot more back and forth. Ryujin really took that one handily. Now they're starting to feel the pressure from Decuriones as a wonderful pass out mid from Dr. Professor, finding Turbo out mid and cut Chow. It's not a splash, but that's Splash's little brother as Decuriones now find their first lead in the series.
But yeah, first lead in the series. It's incredible that they were able to be kept off the scoreboard in game 1, and now game 2, they've really just been the Teflon team, letting it slide right off the mental and deciding, hey, game 1's a wash. We'll ignore that it ever happened. We're going to hit the pitch just as hard as we wanted to game 1. So for sure, great play all around. Balto popping at center. Balto follows it again, not letting Chef get the pop over one. So instead, this is going to be a dangerous spot for Ryujin. Dondo hitting it right to Dr. Professor, who puts it to the corner. Avex Inception shoving it away, and Panda, with 2:22 left to be played, we finally get to see what this Ryujin team is going to do from the back foot.
And honestly, oh my, and as you say that, Chef finds that equalizing goal off a wonderful 50 over Turbo. That man actually did cook. You see the salt shaker from his banner there. What an amazing 50 all the way across the field to send this game tied up right in the middle of the game.
Dr. Professor, great opportunity, shoved and stopped by Avex Inceptions, leaving it for Dondo, who's there with the cab to put it away. Goal number 3 and a turn of the script, almost immediate, as Ryujin now find themselves up 3-2.
Boss, you asked what Ryujin does from the back foot, and they answered 2 quick goals in succession. 2 minutes left to put themselves right back up in the lead, with Dondo trying to pass it over to the other side, actually catches it himself. Avex finds the pass out mid. Does Ballstorm find the save? He does, and Turbo is there for the clear, but Ryujin are not satisfied with a 1-goal lead. They want to extend it once again, just like they did in game 1. Another wonderful pass out mid from Chef Hoppy. Ryujin are connecting with each other on every side of the pitch. And Dondo once again looks for the pass out mid, unable to find it this time, and Ballstorm has to bump Avex out of the way, but Ryujin strong on this offense, strong on this pressure. Dondo a shot, Turbo saves. Avex a pass out mid to Dondo, who maintains the pressure once again. Decuriones just cannot find a touch on this ball past the 50, and they desperately need at least 1 more goal to send us into overtime.
If this Decuriones team is able to turn this around, Balto is making a criminally incredible case to be MVP of the series. That save, I promise you, I would not have been able to make myself in any way, shape, or form. Chef Hoffy, though, hammer repeatedly striking the nail. They just kept pressuring the defense with a relentless stream of shots, and this Decuriones team, as great as their defense has been, it just couldn't stop the incessant onslaught.
Those were some amazing saves from Decurion's side, but eventually you run out of boost and you run out of players to play for the ball. And Ryujin, off of amazing pressure, find that 4th goal in the second game and find the 2-goal lead with only 40 seconds left. and are looking so comfortable to take the second game. Smitty, once again, that's 25 in total. 5 gifted.
Brother, relax, please.
This man wins big in crypto and decides to make it rain, make a splash, one would say, in stream. And Chef finds a save to stop the Decuriones from making this game a 1-goal game. Chef once again tries to find the save, unable to, but Avex is there to help him out. Dr. Professor looks for the pass just to try and get some momentum for Decuriones, but it's unable to be found once again. And Ryujin, second game, second win. And honestly, they're looking into this third game strong. They want to take this series and just go home.
Well, it's insane, right? Like, you would love to hype up the fact that Ryujin now have 10 shots in game 2 alone, which is insane offensive production. But what's even more insane is look how few saves they had to make. They only had to make 3. So even though they're keeping the pace of the pitch high, they are not finding themselves having to dive, having to get out of a flow. They're really controlling the back third and the midfield with great rotation pace, and it's just turning into goals.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, of course, they're getting their double tap looks as well, but their passing plays over to the midfield are just stopping Decuriones from setting anything up for any type of counterattack. All they can do is really send a player for a 50-50. And by the time that player gets back on defense, 2-3 shots have gone by, and they're not able to get boost. They're not able to kind of reset. And eventually, after a while, just like you saw, Ryujin was just able to find goal after goal.
It'll definitely be.
We see a sub.
I don't believe so. This is the team for Decuriones that got them here. It could just be a funk. This could just be the team really trying to figure out rotations. They're not used to seeing an offensive prowess like this Ryujin team, but who knows? It could be a little bit of anything going forward. You don't really want to let the title slip away, so you might start throwing even the kitchen sink at it. Dr. Professor, though, elevating. Gets it. Oh, no, can't get it over one. Chef Hoffy pre-jumped the defensive play in a way that I didn't realize was even possible. What a pass! What a shot!
Nobody can stop Ryujin from taking the first goal in this series. First 2 games was Dondo. This time it was Avex finding a wonderful shot off the pass. Oh my goodness. The first minute, Ryujin is unstoppable.
Oh man, this is insane in the membrane plays. You would not expect this team to be placing shots so well, but they're in the finals for a reason. Turbo Alpaca, though, with a quick response. 4:31 left to be played, and it is beautiful to not see a team give up when they're in a dire position.
And honestly, that's exactly what you need. You may be 2 games down, but you still have plenty of opportunity, plenty of time in this finals. It is a best of 7 for a reason. Plenty of teams before have not only made it back from a 2-0 comeback, but even gone as far as reverse sweeping. Obviously, you don't want Ryujin put the Decuriones in that position to have to reverse sweep, as Chef Hoffy finds a wonderful shot on net, just a little bit high. Alex finds the response, unable to find it. Dr. Professor now sends it the other way. Are they going to be able to find a lead, and are they going to be able to keep it, more importantly, as they try and get just at least 1 game off of Ryujin?
Oh, that could have been an incredible pass, but Dondo, playing it safe, sits a little bit further back, doesn't want to let this game get into a tough spot, so instead he's going to let Avex in this incredible defense start to go to work. Chef tries to alley to Avex. It's cleared away, though. Dondo pushes it up pitch. Avex deletes the back line. Dr. Professor pops to center. Balto, not a lot of boost. Gets it over the final defender. That's going to be goal number 2.
Honestly, that is a wonderful play from Balto. Finds it clear over to mid, is able to keep up with that ball and stay under it for the double jump. Chef Hoffy was not able to see how fast Balto was going and was not expecting him to pop it over his head, and is able to find that second goal for Decuriones here, all off the back of Balto's play. And Smitty once again. Smitty, I want to cast the game. That's 30 gifted subs from you.
Oh, Balto gets it pushed to the side. Avex looking for the center to Dondo. Turbo elevates quickly, pushes it away. Dr. Professor elevates, pops, pushes it to the side. It's going to be swatted away. Avex is there for the follow. Can't quite get it past Turbo Alpaca. So instead, this is going to die once again on the back third, as finally the Decuriones defense is able to get it off and get it across the pitch.
I'm just going to correct myself here. That was not Smitty. That was Bas, the man on the desk. And the man on the field, Turbo Alpaca, finds the second goal off of a wonderful shot just across the field, punishing Avex for sitting in front of him, trying to disturb the demo, disturb the rotations, but he just keeps a level head and shoots one straight down the middle of the barrel and finds the back of the net.
Well, and we've seen this team come alive last game, especially early on. We hope not to see deja vu as this team really starts to find its footing. Dondo can't get the touch here as Chef Hoffy elevates, pushes it center. Avex a little bit out of reach, isn't able to put that for his team on target. So instead, Dr. Professor follows it. Balto passes it center, a little bit of give and go action here. Demo from Chef Hoffy lets Dondo establish a quick counterattack, but not enough boost to follow the ball. It looks like their defenses, or their rotation, is getting a little bit more spread out. This Ryujin team is going to have to react to Turbo Alpaca really turning up the pace.
Oh, definitely. And another dangerous shot from Balto, this time saved by Avex. And once again, he's up in the air. Dondo beats him this time, but Balto is really turning up the pressure here offensively. Dr. Professor finds the clear out mid. Dondo, what a great pass over to Chef. Unable to find the back of the net, but Ryujin, 2 goals down, they're still looking so dangerous here on offense. Dondo able to beat a 1v1 and send it all the way back down the other side of the field. Ryujin desperately are trying to find at least 1 goal, maybe even 2 here as we almost get down to this last minute of playtime in the 3rd game. And Decuriones, I'm glad to see that they find their footing here.
Turbo, a lot of boost, opts to play it smart, goes back into the corner here. Avex has the read though, Dondo elevates, is getting, oh no, that is cleared away. Dr. Professor read that play out like a Dr. Seuss book, saw it coming from a mile away. Balto flicks it past one, Dr. Professor in the waiting, takes the play, keeps it alive. Splits the 50. That's all the way back. It is off target, so Balto doesn't have to push too hard. But, oh, dangerous spot here, Panda.
Oh, but immediately pressure relieved by a heads-up demo from Balto. Chef does find the shot, does find the pass out mid, but Dondo is just not ready for that because he had to rotate up from being 3rd man. But Chef, once again, maintaining this pressure and just shooting one right past Balto where he's not expecting one. Even on low boost, he is so confident to go for that shot there. And that is what has been keeping Ryujin in this game.
Avex splits the 50. Favorable spot for Dondo, who puts it off the corner. Avex steals the front 100. Coming off the sidewall, isn't able to take the touch from Dr. Professor. So Doctor pops it over one. Deep touch by Dondo, off the ceiling, throws Turbo and Chef Hoffy off the ball entirely. With 9 seconds left to be played, Balto does not want to let this go back to his own third. He wants to keep this play alive. Oh, into the corner, 1 second left, pop up high, Chef Hoffy, the man, the myth, the legend, puts it out to the left, but there is no one in the waiting, so instead, this is going to be game number 1 going to Decuriones. Sorry, game 3, the first win for Decuriones here.
Honestly, I know it's a 1-goal game, but that definitely seemed very favorable for Decuriones. Ryujin only able to find that 2nd goal there in the last 30 seconds to try and make a play for this overtime, but there we have it. Some semblance of energy from Decuriones. All 3 players on their team getting 400 points. A lot more demos we saw in that game there as well. A lot more physical plays. And that's what I want to see going forward into game 4. More team plays from Decuriones.
More energy, more
passion. More passion and more energy. And you know what I also want to see? I also want to see one of them leave the game and put on the splash goal explosion. But we can't have everything that we want.
Ah, goodness. No, it's beautiful. You love to see a team really start to rebound, really start to regain some confidence. And you're right. Even though this is a 1-goal game on the scoreboard, it really wasn't a 1-goal game. We really saw what the domination of the Decurions could really look like as they just ran away in the beginning. And then Ryujin kind of had to claw back towards the end of it, getting their last goal within the last minute. So we'll see Ryujin taking their first loss here on stream in the finals, how they're going to regain.
Definitely. I mean, if they regain in any way that they did against earlier when they were down 2 goals with 2 quick goals, and here we go, as I said it, Ryujin is unstoppable in the first 30 seconds of a match. 2 first goals from Dondo, 2 first goals from Avex this time. Somebody's got to check their PCs for the first 30 seconds.
Only 30 seconds, are they cheating? Dondo splits the very, very destructive 50 as that drops center for Dr. Professor, who isn't able to corral it and put it on target. So Chef Hoffy from Ryujin is going to take control. No, Balto pushes it through 1, can't quite get it through the back line of defense. So it's up to Turbo Alpaca here to take control of this play. Pass outlet to Avex. Avex not a lot of boost to follow, so Dr. Professor is able to get that. Balto Storm dropping at center and on target, and Chef Hoffy able to get the clear here. With the 100 boost stolen, they're really maintaining great boost maintenance. They're not really running out of boost here as they keep their offense alive and allows them to stay in the play a little longer. But I don't know how this Decurion's team is able to do it when they've been struggling to maintain boost themselves.
I feel like the Decurions just love playing on this defensive third, and as I say that, what a corner read from Dondo! Is this Chally or is this Elite? Look at him, look at the arrows right over Turbo Palca's head! That's a premier shot from Dondo!
Quad promote him right now, Numbers. Get him gone. Mid-series.
Gone! Get him out of here! As Avex now, once again, Ryujin just unrelenting on this pressure. They just scored and they still won another one.
Balto, deep clean Professor looking for the touch there, can't, but Balto was there with the follow. A beautiful dive by Avex Inceptions is going to be able to push this away. Chef Hoffy loses the 100. No, miscommunication. Elevates it over Dondo, and Balto shoves it through the defender.
Oh my goodness. Once again, Balto just taking it himself over Chef Hoffy and just dunking Avex all the way. Balto is a one-man army for Decurions right now.
Dondo RF. Turbo Alpaca winning the 50. Chef Hoffy elevating off the sidewall. Dangerous spot to find him. He takes a touch off the ceiling, but Balto is there and waiting. I gotta say, this Decurions team is really reading the play well. They are making the most of every time they have a chance to steal the ball, and it is awesome to watch. Chef Hoffy, though, unable to get it past Dr. Professor, who reads the play extremely well. Balto splits the 50 with Avex. Dondo puts it on target, but Dr. Professor with the diving save keeps this game within 1 goal.
But it is still dangerous here for Decurions, as once again, they're just spending most of the game on their defensive half and spending most of the game below 50 boost. Ryujin is just controlling everything from the ball, from the pressure, from all the boost. Balto is able to beat Dondo, and Dr. Professor sends one the long way. Avex has to make the diving save, and he is able to find it. What does Balto do? Leave it over for Turbo Alpaca. But once again, it's right back here in this blue corner, back in this blue half.
Turbo reads the bounce, though, well, is able to clear that away and avoid damage. Avex Inceptions with a pop over Balto gets goal number 2 on game number 4. And this Ryujin team inch a little closer to a championship lap.
2-goal lead for Ryujin has always been dangerous in this series so far. The Decurions have not been able to find the answer to this 2-goal lead as of yet, but Dr. Professor has to find the clear. Will they be able to find it here in this game? Will they be able to send it all the way? A double demo for Ryujin to clear the pressure offensively. The Decurions were starting to find some offense, and then it was immediately shot down by both players on Ryujin's side. I'm starting to feel bad for Decurions. I start to get tired after being on defense for this long.
Well, it's difficult, right? Like, yes, your defense can be bend, don't break. It can be one of the best in the league, but you never want to find yourself on your back foot. You don't want to have to be the team that's constantly having to elevate, dump, boost, and dive against a shot. You really just find yourself in a struggling spot here as Turbo gets goal number 2, and we are within 1 goal again.
Once again, 1 goal striking distance, this time with a minute 35 on the clock. That's plenty of game time. That's a quarter of the game still left for Decurions to find an answer, to get their head back into this game and get game 4 under their belt. As Balto looks for the 50 past Dondo, unable to find it, and Dondo looks for the pass over mid. Dr. Professor handles that ball accordingly very well, and Avex is maintaining this pressure. I need Decurions. I'm begging for Decurions to find an answer, for them to find their way out of defense, but Dondo once again collects it masterfully on his own back wall, gets it over to the corner, and Dr. Professor has to play for the pass, unable to find it.
Turbo pops it up the sidewall, looking for his own goal, goes to call zone, actually went for the demo on defense. Great team play here. Instead, Chef, deep touch, gets the pop number 2. Turbo elevates quickly, is able to push it over to the right. Avex opts to go back for 100, tries to dive back in, but couldn't quite get it there. He probably thought he had a little bit more time on the play, but unfortunately in grabbing that 100, he kind of removed his chances for defense, and now we are squared up at 3-3 with 44 left to be played.
Actually, I think that was the exact opposite of a double commit, where both players were saying you, and neither player committing for the ball, as now Turbo finds the demo. Here we have that aggression that they were able to find in game number 3 to try and relieve this pressure. Tied up with 30 seconds left, we are more than likely going to be able to see overtime unless Avex Inceptions has something to say about it. Booming clear onto the offensive end. Does he find the pass over the Chef? He does, but also handles it accordingly. And Decurions are finding their way out of defense here more often than not. A wonderful fake for Doctor, who finds a shot saved by Avex, who now low boost, has to find a play. 2 seconds left. Will this ball hit the ground, or will it find the back of the net? Turbo Packham for the shot. It finds the backboard. Chef misses. Who's going to get their first? Doctor finds the 0-second goal.
My caster, I thought my mic was going to peak tonight. My caster in command over here going ham at an incredible clutch play by the Decurions to even up the series 2-2. What easily started out as what could have been an incredible quick sweep is now looking like it's going to go the distance, as the Decurions have started to really find their groove.
What an answer from Decurions. What a team play all around from all 3 players. Dr. Professor able to find that last touch in the back of the net, but that goes to show you that in Rocket League, it is not over until that ball hits the ground. And Decurions, against all effort, find that game. That's game 4. That's not game 7. That's not for the win. This is the middle of the series, and they're pulling that out. That shows that they want this bad, even no matter how good Ryujin look on offense. Decurions are there for an answer.
Ooh. I'm so amped. Like, I am having a hard time sitting in my seat straight, because right now with 2-2, I mean, we're getting a very lively series. Every game is hard fought, both teams taking it down to the wire. I am interested to see when we're going to get our first overtime for this series.
You know what I'm interested in? Who on Ryujin is going to score the first goal of the game? My money's on Dondo. Here we have it. Game 5. Not for the victory, not game point. Middle of the series. Decurions versus Ryujin. And Tonto almost threatening the first goal already. First, 7 seconds. Chef tries to get it over Turbo, unable to find it as well. Balto collects in the corner, but his teammates getting demoed behind him for his efforts. And they survive the first 20 seconds. They survive the first 30 seconds almost here as Dr. Professor finds a great 50. Doesn't find the shot over Dondo. He does, but it's just a little off target. And Avex, that's his second demo now already in the first 30 seconds. Ryujin have started this game 5 off strong with some aggressive demos that Decuriones may not be ready for. What a play as well, finding that mid pass. Ryujin just do not let off the gas on offense.
Turbo quickly getting the counterattack initiated, gets it over 1, gets it over 2, but Chef finds a way to stop him in the corner. Dondo plays it smart, plays it safe, takes his time, puts it back into the corner, knowing that no real angle is going to be threatening out of there. Instead, Chef pops it low. Dr. Professor is going to put it over into the sidewall, taking the same strat to heart. A demo here lets Avex put it. No, it's going to be a little wide. Dondo there with the follow. Stuffs it through 1. Avex can't quite get the pass center. So instead, Chef Hoffy dives in. Balto splits the 50. Doctor pushing it down the pitch. And my man, this Decuriones team has got, I don't want to say they figured out the kickoffs from this Ryujin side, but they've definitely realized, like, hey, let's just sit a little further back. We'll let the play develop, and we won't worry about too much of a bad rotation here. Oh, dangerous spot as Dondo has to dive to keep goal number 1 out from the Decuriones.
Oh, and what a pass coming over from Balto, and you're so right. We have not seen this all series long, as starting out the game, going into nearly halftime with no goals. And I like the adjustment from Ryujin. Does that find the back of the net? It's not able to. Turbo pack of giving me that wonderful post sound, but does find the pass out mid to Balto. Chef wonderfully cooks up some defense. But as I was saying, Ryujin seemed to have found an answer to Decuriones sitting back on defense, but do they have the answer for Decuriones finding some offense? Their shots have been dangerous all game long, and finally one of these top corner shots don't hit the post and out. They actually just go straight in, and Turbo, ka-chow, Decuriones up 1-0. The first time they scored.
Balto pops it off the ceiling. Dondo tries to swat it away, but Dr. Professor is there to push it all the way down the pitch as this is quickly sent back. Express mail. Balto passes it center. Dr. Professor was there, ready to go. Billy, Avex Inceptions, turns, tries to get the touch, but can't. Balto elevates quickly. This Decuriones team is really starting to play faster, starting to play with a little bit more confidence, and it is starting to pay off for sure. Chef Hoffy gets the first touch, looking for the second to get over the defender. That drops down left. Dondo's there, but can't get it past. Dr. Professor, this bend don't break defense from Decuriones reestablished.
I wish I was keeping track of the saves all match long, because I'm sure the save difference for this entire series has got to be through the roof now, as Dr. Professor has to play defense here in the corner. Avex finds it over him. Ballstorm able to find the clear out, but only goes as far as Chef, who's wonderfully positioned in the midfield to keep this offense going. Ballstorm once again has to find the clear, only goes as far as Avex, who collects on his defensive half, but does get bumped for his efforts. Turbo maintaining pressure. Now Doctor maintaining pressure. Everyone on Decuriones able to keep this offense going rather than finding themselves right back on defense, but Dondo, dangerous pass over to the mid. Nobody on the Ryujin side was ready for it, but both teams are able to find each other so seamlessly here in the midfield that honestly the start of the series is not how the end of the series is going. And once again, Turbo finds his second goal, this time off of an open net. Dr. Professor plays it around Dondo, and nobody on the orange side was behind him to support. A wonderful play from Decuriones to send them 2-0 up with 1 minute left.
Down to RF, Dr. Professor getting the kickoff here. Turbo popping it high in center for Balto, but Chef's going to be the recipient. That drops down. Balto putting it off the backboard. Dr. Professor's already there. A complete flip of the script here as a team that found themselves being down 2-0 is now going to potentially be up 3-1. The long touch. Dr. Professor able to clear it away with ease. Chef Hoffy looking to drop it center for Avex Inceptions, who is unable to corral the pass. And instead, it's going to be Dondo putting a pass off the backboard once again. A bit of a miscommunication here. It looked like a double commit from this Ryujin side. So instead, we've got Decuriones quickly. No, the pressure's still on them.
And what a flip of the script Decuriones have met. Shefty, what a great shot, but an even better save from Turbo. That man has been playing wonderfully on both sides of the pitch, offensively and defensively, but Dondo, 5 seconds left. That's plenty of time. Do not
It is a
call
difficult
this
spot,
game
though,
over.
my man. 5 seconds. It's not over till it's over, but 5 seconds is not a lot to work with. We're gonna need to see a Ryujin, a little bit more of their kickoff madness. Avex pops it high and center. Balto with the elevate is able to swat it away, and Balto, hero of game number 5, is able to keep Decurion's lead in check, and in turn, they now move to 3-2.
If you asked me after game 1 and then after game 2 and said and you even told me that Decuriones was going to find the next 3 games in a row, that Decuriones was going to find a 0-second goal in game number 4 and hold the lead out from Ryujin all the way into game 5, I called you crazy. Ryujin was playing wonderfully on offense. Decuriones were scrambling to find any semblance out of their defensive half. And now these last few games, they're so comfortable on defense. They're able to find these transition offenses so fast and find each other in the midfield so wonderfully that Ryujin have just not been able to respond to that change of pace from Decuriones.
Well, it's going to be incredible here as we go into Game 6. Decuriones, having been down 2-0, are now going to find themselves on the brink of the championship. Everything that they've put forth, every replay review, every practice, every scrim is right in reach. The ultimate prize, a championship and a Discord tag.
Hey, that Discord tag is so important. I need my 3rd Discord tag for Dev League, but this isn't Dev League. This is RSC Finals, game number 6. Higher or lower, will Ryujin find that first opening goal? No! Decuriones find it! Dr. Professor punishing Dondo for the miss off the corner read, and that's exactly how you want to start this game off if you're Decuriones.
It is. A well-placed shot pierces the defense and puts them one step closer to the end of a fantastic season. Chef Hoffy able to follow, but Balto there. Pace a lot faster than games 1 and 2. Balto's got to be having a lot of confidence as he stuffs it through the defender and earns goal number 2.
That man is unstoppable in the air. He did it before in game 4. Now he's doing it again in game 6. An aerial dunk to send it into the back of the net.
Dondo splits the 50. Dr. Professor starts to rotate back. Balto storm there, the 100. No, clips the back post. So instead, now it's going to be Dondo putting it high. Can't quite get it over Balto. Balto elevates, puts it over to Dr. Professor. That's a long shot. That is on. And that is goal number 3 within the first almost 30 seconds of Game 6. This Decuriones team is right there, ready for the championship.
What surgical precision from Dr. Professor to send that ball all the way from his own corner straight down to the middle of the back of the net with some speed too. Ryujin unable to find the save for that ball as Avex now has to find the clear. Zero boost is a little bit awkward. Chef Hoffy's there to help him out. Chef Hoffy's there to try and send it into the back of the net. Saved by Dr. Professor. Pinched by Dr. Professor to try and send it into the back of the net. That was on target if it wasn't stopped by Avex. And Dondo unable to find the back of the net. Now Ryujin is being plagued by the post.
Well, and you got to know that this team's looking to play a little bit of hero ball. They see that 3-goal deficit, and they're going to want to get those back in bunches. But it is a marathon, not a race. You got to take these goals one at a time and really just put one after the other on net in hopes that they start falling. We'll see, though. Oh, it's going to be high. Dondo elevates, can't quite put it on target. So instead, with 3:30 left to be played, this Ryujin team find themselves in a tremendous valley.
Oh, and a wonderful fake from Dr. Professor. An even better 50. Avex able to respond accordingly, but only into the hands of Turbo Alpaca, who goes up in the air. What can he find? Will he find the 50? He does. It's still in the Ryujin half. It's still dangerous. Balto for the pass. Doctor for the shot. Unable to find the back of the net, but Decuriones are not happy with the 3-0 lead. They want a 4-0 lead. They want to give them the dagger early.
Well, in so many teams, they take their foot off the gas. They start rotating a little slower. They stop worrying about their rotations at all. And then they find themselves giving up that lead and quickly finding themselves in the back foot. This team, not a chance. They know if they want to win, they need to keep pouring it on.
And pouring it on, they will. Another great clear from Turbo, unable to be collected by Avex, who has an unfortunate back pass over to Dondo. Maybe it was all part of the plan, as Chef Hoppy is able to collect with full boost, sending it over to the corner. Will he find the pass over mid? He is able to find it, but once again, wonderfully handled by Balto. His defensive corner reads have been on point all series long, honestly. And Dr. Professor finds the shot on net. Chef Hoffy has to make an awkward save, but shot once again by Balto. The Decuriones are not letting go of the offense.
No, they are not. They don't want to regress back to the all-time defense stats. Instead, Turbo Alpaca wants to keep this alive, pushes it down the pitch. Balto with a quick follow. Dr. Professor already established, but Balto's touch was already on target. That's goal number 4, and likely the dagger here in Game 6.
That may, as you say, you may be right. That might be the dagger. 4-0 lead. We have not seen all series long with a minute 48. I don't believe either team has scored 5 goals in the series. So this is a mountain for Ryujin to climb up, and they need to climb it fast as Dondo tries to find any type of offense. Dr. Professor not only gets a 50, but finds a demo on the offensive end as well, wasting even more time for Ryujin. Chef is trying to find a pass out mid, but can't find the boost, can't find the pass, is forced to rotate back out, and another play there, another play gone for Ryujin, and another shot on target for Decuriones, saved by Avex.
Well, and we knew that both these teams could easily generate offense right off the pitch into the stat sheet. This Decuriones team, opening wild card, they had to go through the 6th seed Mug. Quarterfinals, they went through the 2nd seed Lilacs, and then they beat the number 1 seed out of Lunar, the Meat Lovers. So it's insane to see how much they had to go through to get here, and then turn around and channel one more incredible series to wrap up a fantastic season 22.
Oh, definitely, especially that win over the number 1 seed Meat Lovers. Not only was that the number 1 team in Lunar, but that was the number 1 team in Chally overall that they ended up finding that victory with over, which is exactly what warm-up you want when you go into the finals. And not only did they beat the Meat Lovers, they 4-1'd the Meat Lovers. And they will, with 0 seconds left on the clock, 4-2 Ryujin to take the Chally final in season 22. Decuriones are your winners.
And what an incredible team this has been. My man, I'm going to go right into it. I've got to anoint him. Balto Storm, in my opinion, with some of the clutchest saves we've seen, pinches against the post, the crossbar. This is the player that's got to be your Chally Finals MVP.
I mean, I wish I could say the Dr. Professor. He was a very close runner-up But man, Balto on the defensive end, Balto on the offensive end was just something else in this series. If any Chally player wants to know how to play the game, watch this Balto Storm man play in Chally. He played out of his mind and definitely a well-deserved MVP for finals and a well-deserved chip for Balto.
For sure. Well, if we could, Mr. Producer, can we take a quick 5-minute break? I need some more water before I reload into our second series, the Elite Finals for the night. So, we will take just one quick second